And also it's next in saying a person lacking any of the 5 sense faculties does not meet in a requirement laid down for the taking the monastic vows. It is difficult to receive patimokkha vows. And also it's like moreover, someone who does not have the good fortune to be able to see presentation of the concord to inspire his devotion, or to read and hear the precious and excellent teaching as the material for study and reflections, and will not be fully capable of the receiving the teachers, the Dharma. And because and there's not very much interest, these persons. Why? There's nothing kind of devotion or interest when they see the representative of the Buddha's body, speech, minds. And also it's like whenever like kind of hearing, contemplate, and the genuine of the Buddha's teachings, they are not much interest. And then it's like if there's no interest to listen to teaching, no interest to contemplate the teaching of Dharma, and then this object of the Dharma, it doesn't go to the content of the subject, the person's mind. And therefore, there's something problems, the 5 faculties, and then it's like difficult to receive the individual vows. I would to say that why it is, and there's something taking the vows, discipline, and you need these abilities. If you haven't got ability to do something, for example, and if we need to kill to the other sentient beings, and if you haven't got any power, and how do you say, it's like to do something, maybe physically, mentally, problems, and then it's like you take vows or not take vows, it is like something wrong, it's like cannot do. And then it's, of course, when you take vows, it's a little bit benefit, but maybe just even you don't take vows, you can't do it. But someone's, for example, ourselves, we have like really powerful, intact our faculties, and then we can do it. And then it's like when we take the vows is become more profound, more like kind of deep, and therefore, if someone's faculties problems, and then there's which kind of faculty problems, then it's perfectly difficult to receive the individual liberation vows. And then it's, of course, top of that, no interest to practice Dharma, study Dharma. Then it's, this person's mind is not suitable receptacle in order to pull the nectar of the Dharma. We are not like this. We have the kind of great faculties and also enthusiastic. We understood Dharma is not something mysterious. We understand Dharma is direct, beneficial, and really it's very important to do some good things for us. And also the conflicting lifestyle referred, strictly speaking, to the lifestyles, directly, honestly to speaking, strictly and speaking to the lifestyle of the people born in the communities of the hunters and prostitutes, and there is like a fisherman or maybe robber, killer, and so on, this kind of evil families. Like there is alcoholic, drug addict, and so this kind of lifestyle is completely against it in the Dharma, and this kind of one is like, then it's difficult to practice Dharma. This is the truth, because lifestyle is big problems. And therefore, fourth, how are they involved in these negative actions? Like their mind is dominated by the negative things, and then is nothing interest for the. From their earliest youth, when they're born, immediately they have tendencies. I'm often to say the making joke. For example, in Swiss, I have one friend. He has a very wonderful coffee bar. You go inside, there's many animals' head, like antelope, pork, deer, so many different hanging. And then we are talking to say, it's like, wow, you have nice bars. Oh, yes, I have wonderful bars. You have so scary animals' heads. Oh, yes, this is wonderful. That is my grandfather kid. That is my son. This is, but now I'm very sad. So why? I said, my son, he doesn't want to keep these lineages because the son doesn't want to hunting and want to keep. And like this, when your childhood, your systems like this, and then it's like, how to say, it's continue to do like this. They wanted, particularly in India, if you are like a fisherman, then father's fisherman, son should to be the fisherman. There's almost, but not after the Buddha appear, this caste is destroyed. Before Buddhas appear in India, they have own caste. If father's business, son is should to be business. Father is a hunter and the son is become hunting. Whatever father's job, they should to take by the sons. And therefore, it's like an early family or the something happened, then like this. But this is what we call the lifestyles, conflicting the lifestyle means Dharma is against it. And not like this. But in the fact that also included anyone, those every thought, word and deed is the contrary to the Dharma, for even those not born into the such lifestyle can easily slip into them later in life. This is very important, you know. Is that we can to say someone's also before we are conversations. The conflict lifestyle means, okay, you understand, like when you're born into this evil kind of families, maybe robber, drug addict, like kind of alcoholic or so something, then you have this influence and according to these conditions. But also from time to time we need to analyze our body, speech, mind. For example, it's like a conflict lifestyle. It's easily to slip into that like kind of bad way. I'm often to say I have one long time ago not a good friend, but in Dzogchen there's the Chinese they create one university. It's Buddhist university. They like organize the Buddhist many great master. Most become very kind. But there's one monk first time came, is his monk. They accepted student, and then everybody, the Kambos, they respect. He's very kind. He looks like this. And then slowly his contact few boys. They become very good friend, And then in Cambodia, the teachers say, why you are making friend? Those his students are terrible because it's like they are follow more communism. They say we studied, but we don't believe Dharma, and we whatever. Sometimes they're fishing and strange because it's a Chinese created. They cannot, teachers cannot control. And then slowly he becomes same as him. And one day I'm like kind of in the bus station to he catch to the. Then there's 3 or 4 boys, they're coming together. He already took the monk cloth and he's carrying the knife. And then they're coming, they're talking. And they also one friend maybe going to be censored. And then suddenly from there is birds fly. And he took out the knife and threw to these birds, want to killing, not for the food, nothing. Then I said, what are you doing? Why you want to kill? Just fun. It's a kind of universe is completely changed. It's before he's monk and very nice and really like serious. Too much serious sometimes happen that. But like a really serious, and even if some ladies offering to the cup like this, doesn't want, even though some ladies is need to touch, he doing maybe like this, bonjour. Doesn't want to touch it, but too much. And then it's like slipped into the bad way, and then bad friend is that is the, if you do not check often and often, our movement of Buddhist speech mind is easily to become the conflicting the lifestyle that many they say is like, it is therefore essential to avoid doing anything which conflicting with the authentic Dharma. Why not? For example, in the Dharma, what say is like do not hurt to the others. Reality in this world, the discipline of the Dharmas, I'm often to check. If it's any kind of activities, do not to hurting to the others. This is the first our responsibility. Second is cannot to hurting to the ourselves. This is true. If we are not hurting to the both other ourselves, then everything is free. There's no kind of discipline. For example, if you say that, Buddhist people cannot drink alcohol, say, and one hand is truth, but if you drink too much alcohol, it's a kind of hurting to yourself and hurting to the others, and therefore it's a Buddha's like kind of this discipline. Do not alcohol drinks. So and like a kind of like this side, make joke, not this side, nothing, okay? And there is some is a food. What do we need? If nothing hurting to ourselves, nothing hurting to others, there's nothing discipline. And also it's like Patimokkha's principle, there are some activities, most discipline, we have the 250 discipline for the Patimokkha's. Each one is we can to look, it's just benefit. Nothing kind of for benefit for the Buddha, nothing benefit for something else. It's just benefit for ourselves, benefit for the sentient beings. Like then it's like, why not to have this discipline? Why not? Then is the conduct movement is something against Dharma, means it's like against the positive movements. We need to stop. We need to cut. We like say, this morning is like I studied the Dharma, and I don't want to hurting to others. Dharma says it's like to hurting to others is negative. Also, I want to vows. I want to keep this one. And this afternoon, a little bit I distracted. I something say bad things, this person. I did a little bit heated. Maybe some disturbs. Wow, very sorry. I want to change from that. Like this, if I may continue, maybe the conflict, my lifestyle against the Dharma, then easily, like kind of slipped into the negative way. And therefore, we need to often to check and about like this. This is, and then is if you have faith, it's not in the Buddha's teachings, but in powerful gods, Nanga, and so forth, in the other doctrines, such as those of the third Tikas, then no matter how much faith you may place in them, one of them can protect you from the sufferings of the samsara, for from rebirth in low realms. And sometimes we can to say, I'm taking refuge in Buddha and Dharma and Sangha. Temporarily we can to say, maybe it's like in the Dharma perspective, we can to say, to take such strong refuge in the worldly gods. And that is like, it's difficult to give to us liberation. Why? It is because themselves is not yet enlightenment. And therefore we come to say, I'm taking refuge in the Buddha and serious to follow. Buddha means general Buddha, specific Buddha. General Buddha is like kind of the whoever be realized truth of the true nature, this is the Buddha. Okay, we have the specific Buddha, okay, in the Buddha Shakyamuni. And maybe you can to say your own individual spiritual friend, okay, my own Buddha, you can to say. But this is the kind of specific, you take refuge or not refuge. I'm taking refuge, whoever, any kind of, doesn't matter, it's like any kind of human being, any kind of sentient beings, realize the truth of the true nature, which is the compassions. And that is the my guide, that is the my like kind of the, teacher. And I'm taking refuge in this. Fully someone's realized that the compassions is 100% the weekend source of the refuge. And someone has a realization fully primordial wisdom. That means they realize their own nature. These persons can telling to us everything is the truth. And therefore we come to say, for example, worldly, some powerful like kind of the worldly deities, worldly Nanga, worldly different these things. Maybe it's someone's taking refuge very much, is of totally put faith, devotion, but here it says, I'm not sure. And they can to give to us something good path, good guide. Because themselves is maybe not yet the Buddha. When is they died, maybe going to direct to hell. We're talking about like the God realms. There are some beings, they reborn. There really is like wonderful. But this the cause, reborn, they're exhausted. Then they're reborn in the low realms like this. But if you have the acquire properly reasoned faith in the concourse doctrines. Concourse is the Buddha, doctrine is the teachings. And the concourse teaching is the telling the truth. It is the like kind of the telling truth. For example, we can to say it's like, yesterday we talked about the driving lessons. Driving lessons, perfect when we are at the school, learning how to drive. And we need to feed into this teacher, because it's like we don't trust. If this teacher is not a perfect driver, then the teachers teach to ours is not correct, something that doesn't come into the knowledges. And also it is like this teacher is a very good driver. This person can to tell to us all the traffic, like a kind of the rules, and also the how to the using this meshing, electron, everything is, this person is like a really scholar of to the drivers. And then we need to trust, faith. And then these teachings to give to us, and wonderful like a kind of things. And then after we are like driving it. Now it's like same. Okay, this teacher is reality, we can to say is taking the refuge in the doctrines is really, why? Of course, it's a principal doctrines. Teaching is come from of course, the teacher. And the teacher should to be the enlightenment or the perfect. Then if the perfect doctor or the drivers telling to us good, then we can to take a refuge. But reality, when we be in the middle of the road, when we dive, at that moment is we remember this diver teacher to how to teach us, but same time as we need to remember his pit instructions, or how I can to control, how I can do. He told me this, that, then exactly we follow, we can do very safely, we never accidented. And like this, then it's like we need to listen to the concord, because concord means it's like concord each individual disturbing emotions. This is not concord from the like kind of other killings. It's not victorious to destroy other sentient beings. This victorious, this concord is the own enemy of the disturbing emotions, completely eradicated, and the wisdom is the extraordinary wisdom. Then telling to us truth, good, and that's what we call the doctrine. And therefore we need to study, like listen to which is the unit, translation, and the transformation and realizations. You are without doubt a feet vessel for the true Dharma. Then it's like this kind of the normally Concord's doctrine is there's two kind of transformations, unique transformation or the sculpture Dharma and realization Dharma. Sculpture and transformations like the Dharma is the book in the teaching of the 84,000 teachings. But the realization Dharma is the persons in the heart. And therefore there's two types of reality. We need the realization Dharma through the transformations Dharma. You will, like without doubt, fit vessel for the true Dharma. And that is the greatest of the five, the individual like advantages. That is that we are completely studied, and our own individual five advantages. Like we reborn in the humans and reborn in the center place, and also we have like faculties, have faith, and so on, and these ones. Now, and the five circumstantial, the advantages. This one is, and also I think this is Nangachuna's quotation. I hope so. It's continuous, and Nangachuna's quotation. And then Cambodia, le deux de son jixian de tichu son temban. Oh yeah. I think it's the Nangachuna. There's no the source of the quotation, okay? Yesterday I said it's like there's the quote like this: Buddha as appears. This is the like a kind of one first circumstantial advantages. Has the pitch the Dharma, like he has speeched, and the Dharma. This is the other circumstances, the advantages. Then he is like teaching still existence, and this is third circumstances, advantages, and be the ourselves is the follows it. This is the fourth. There are those who are the kind-hearted towards others. This is like kind of the teachers. And also it's like Buddhas not appear in this world. Of course, this is like then how we can to receive the teachings and others conditions. Buddhas appear. And sometimes Buddha appeared, they sometimes silent, they never teach. And he taught 84,000 teachings. And also it's like the third is like a circumstance. Sometimes, for example, our Buddha's teachings, there is like 5,000 years, then it's disappeared. Yong is until the next the Buddha teachings, but the duration is not finished, and also it's like this ourselves. I don't know. This is a little bit, I need to more clarify it. For example, the can be followed. This is can be followed. It's like this individual like kind of the advantages. And it's not to the others, but this I need to more clarify. Okay, could you more research? And then, of course, other condition, even Buddha appear teachings there, and also the periods is like this. And if also we are entering inside, but if there is no teacher, how we can to study? And therefore, it's like teachers. Those who are the kind-hearted towards others means this is like to enhance by the teachers. And this one. Now it's like the explanation, the more. Those not born in the bread kalpa, one in which a Buddha has appeared, have never even heard of the Dharma City. This is like Buddha appears. Sometimes Buddha appears, sometimes not a Buddha appear. Bread kalpa, bread eons, black eons. Bright eons, or the kalpa means it's like a white kalpa, times, because Buddha has appeared, teaching is there, and also it's like the duration of Dharma is there like this. But we are now in the kalpa in the which the Buddha has come in this world, and so we are possess the advantages of present of the particularly the teacher of the Buddhas. And also, although the Buddha has come, if he had not taught, no one would benefit. Sometimes Buddha has appeared. For example, our Buddha, he became enlightened man, and he says, I found some special, and like I can tell you, nobody don't understand, profound peace, and deep teachings, and talking about Buddha nature. And then it's like difficult to understand. And then he says, maybe better I would become in the silence. 7 weeks he stayed in the forest. And like this, sometimes Buddhas appeared, they don't teach, then it's not much benefit for like this. But since the Buddha turned like a wheel of the Dharma, according to 3 levels, like a beginning student, he taught Dharma in the Varanas, and the middle is he taught in the virtual mountains and different place and the rivers. He lost like the teachings 3 times. He will like the Dharma wills taught, and therefore Dharma is like still is like he taught 84,000 sutta, tantra, everything. And also, although that he has taught, had these doctrines, die out it would not longer be there to help us. But the period during which the doctrine will remain extended has not yet ended. So we have the advantages of the times. And also this is tourism, it's like the Buddha's teaching is like after the 5,000 is a kind of the disappeared. And maybe even there is like maybe teaching, but who can to teach us? Maybe nobody knows, like kind of our ancient, like kind of systems. Like for example, if you go to the Egypt, and the pyramids, who made it at the beginning, which kind of religions, we don't know really. And like this kind of slowly disappearing. And one day, and like this, then maybe we can to stop there.